1500 as well. He's from Morocco, and the time is 12:58:39. Sidney Marie holds the American record. He will be competing out of lane 7. Barred from the Olympic Games in 76 and 80 because he was from South Africa, then married a United States citizen, and in 81 was granted full citizenship. He has moved up from the 1500 to the 5000 in this event. His competition will be Chris Fox in lane 1. Lane 2, Keith Brantley. Mark Neno in lane 3, Ray Wixell in 4, Doug Padilla in 5, a favorite. Doug Tolson is in 6, then Marie, Vince Stratti, Greg Lautenschlager is in 9, Greg Whiteley is in 10, Terry Brahm is in 11, Jim Farmer in 12, John Gregorek, another one of the men to watch, in lane 13, Scott Fry in 14, Jay Martin in 15, and Jeffrey Smith in lane 16. 5,000 meters. And to put in perspective where the United States stands in this event, I can tell you that the last American to be ranked #1 in the 5,000 was Marty LaCouri.
1977, but Sidney Marie really has legitimate chance at a medal in the Olympics. Now he's got a little trouble. You see him in the middle of the field trying not to step on people. The pace extremely slow. He stuck out his hand and made a right-hand turn. Perhaps that has changed his mind that he's going to get out there and make the pace a little quicker. They all sat there and watched the 1,500 meters, which was a crazy race, and they know that there were some tremendous upsets in the 1,500 meters because the race did not go according to plan. So right now, Mark Neno, who is the kind of man who likes to take the lead. He was in the 10,000 meters earlier in the week. He's been our best 10,000 meter runner for the last 2 years. But in the Olympic trials here, he got 4th place. He was outkicked over the final 2 laps, got 4th place. The only hope for him is to go out and lead this at a good pace. Unfortunately, at 85 degrees, no one knows what a good pace is. A real good pace may be too good and put you into the emergency pen after the race.
Mark Neno, by the way, Marty, just to complete the story, slowed by back and knee injuries this spring, and that limited the amount of training that he can do. Still, Sidney Marie behind him.
64.8 for the first lap. Not really that slow. They're just in such great shape that it looks slow. Keith Brantley on the outside there lives in Gainesville, Florida. Anytime it's hot, you've got to give him a chance. He won the Sports Festival last summer in Durham, North Carolina in 98-degree temperatures.
And behind Brantley is John Gregorek, the 2-time United States Olympic team member in the 3,000-meter steeplechase. So there you have the top 4 right now. As we continue our live coverage of this race, we're going to flash down the entire United States Olympic track and field team, save for the 3 positions that will be decided in this race and in the 3 positions that are being awarded in the women's long jump, which is approaching its conclusion. Still right now, the leader is Mark Neno, 30 years old, from Lexington, Kentucky. And there are a lot of older men in this race, Marty. You've got Neno at 30, Ray Wixell is 32, Doug Padilla is 31, so is Sidney Marie, Greg Lautenschlager is 30, Greg Gregorek is 28.
Well, many years of training go into it. Most of the men in here have been in the mile at one point in their career. Sidney Marie held the world record at 1,500 meters, as you mentioned. John Gregorek was a steeplechaser. It's an event for mature individuals. And right now, Neno had led those first 2 laps at 64-second pace. It's a pretty good pace for a hot day like today.
Neno has dropped back to 3rd now, as Sidney Marie has claimed the lead, battling with Keith Brantley behind Sidney Marie. As we'll wrap up the men's track and field team here and slide into the women's story, which has been going on now in Indianapolis for 8 days. Most of them hot, some of them rainy, just about all of them dramatic.
Sidney controlling the race as well he should. He's a good 12 seconds better than anyone in the field, as well as having a good finishing kick. The surprise here could be what Keith Brantley does. Keith Brantley, as I said, is used to the heat and the humidity. Most of the other runners in this race are saying to themselves, I've never run a quality race like this in temperatures this high. Keith is saying to himself, this is a cool day. It's 15 degrees cooler than what I train in every day. If the pace is fast and people have to dig down, if people are dropping, literally dropping as they did in the women's 3,000 meters, Keith Brantley could be one of the people to struggle to the finish.
Keith Brantley leading right now the men's 5,000 meters. 26-year-old graduate from Florida. We'll continue our live coverage of the 5,000 meters, including a live chat with Florence Griffith Joyner still to come. in a moment on ABC's Wide World of Sports.
Chevy S10 invites you to own this real estate with the biggest engine ever offered in a compact 4x4. The most V6 power and torque available in a compact truck. V6 power to make your heart beat faster than ever.
The heartbeat of America. That's today's Chevy truck.
10 ounces of Armor All Protectant for just $169. And light your home with the Intermatic Timer for $388. They help you find the thing, then they show you how to use it. Hey, let me tell you, Ace is the place for me.
It's back. It's going, going, gone. That's out of here.
This and every sunset is brought to you by Michelob, proud sponsors of night games everywhere. Shouldn't your night belong to Michelob?
My mother used to make me laugh. She'd say, our family has pizza in our blood, and she's right. I'm proud of this business, and I want to make it grow, and that's one reason that I got this new phone system. The only problem is it takes a brain surgeon to make it work. I've been in the shop with the kids who work for me, and they don't understand it, and they have to get the instruction manual. Meanwhile, the phones are all on hold, and customers can't get through, and I'm losing delivery business. The guy who sold it to me said it was as simple as ABC. He's lucky I'm such a nice guy.
Frank Gifford back in Indianapolis, the men's 5,000 meters. Mark Nino is the leader. Sidney Marie is right behind him. And joining me is Florence Griffith Joyner. And Florence, you came in to this track meet. A lot of people knew who you were. Now the entire world really knows who you are. What's the feeling about all of a sudden this eruption of fame and celebrity?
Oh, I feel good. The pressure is gone now. What little pressure I had coming into the Olympic trials, my goals were to come and run the 100 meters, make the team, come into the 200, make the team. And the attention that I've gotten, it feels really happy to have a world record and to see people really cheering for you. I feel like I'm in Europe. Like I'm at the Olympic Games.
You're famous in Europe.
They cheer all the athletes on like this. And it just feels good to be here in America and see all the people cheering for you. It feels really, really good.
We were showing Florence a moment ago a German newspaper that says sprint into the next millennium. It didn't spell it that way, but what they were saying that all of a sudden you have leaped ahead by a generation or so.
That feels good. That feels really good because the East Germans have always had the records, and now it's the Americans' time to have the records and have them chase us for once in a while.
Cover of Sports Illustrated. Did he really set out to make a kind of a fashion statement? I like it. I mean, it's going to bring a lot of people into track and field, I can tell you that.
Good.
But did you set out to do that? So here, you know, we can make this look awfully good too.
Well, a lot of people have told me in the past that track and field is somewhat ugly. The uniforms, you got to look like a man. You can't be feminine. And I'm just here to say that you can take better care of yourself. You can wear a short outfit that has a bright color. You can wear fingernail polish. You can wear makeup in track and field and still perform well. So I'm glad that it's bringing more attention to track and field because we don't have as much support as in football or basketball or whatever. But I'm just glad that it is bringing more attention to the sport.
Anyone says you're looking like a man, they really are got to be confused. I can tell you that for certain. All right, let's talk about the tremendous happening here for you. The world's record of 100 meters, 10:49. The winning of the 200 meters. Let's go back to the 10:49. Were you surprised yourself at the way you literally smashed that record?
I was. My goal was to come here and run 10:74, which was under the world record of 10:76 held by Evelyn Asher. But to run 10:49, that was really surprising to me. I knew that I can go at 10:60 because the first race I ran 10:61, and it was one dated. My goal was to run at legal 10:60. And then when I came back and ran 10:49, it was stunning, but I knew I could do it.
We have to go back to Al Trautway, but quickly, what are you going to wear in Seoul?
I've seen the outfits, and they're very cute. They're short, red, white, and blue, and they have a hood on them.
Is that right? How about the nails? This is Hawaii? Why Hawaii?
Hawaii, it puts me in a relaxed state.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Congratulations once again.
Thank you.
Back to Al Trafford.
Okay, Frank, Florence, thanks for the show. As 8 men who began in the 16-man field in this 5,000-meter final have pulled away from the rest. 4 laps remaining as they come across this time. It is still Mark Nino leading, Sydney Marie in second, Terry Brahm is in third, Keith Brantley is in fourth, John Gregorek is in fifth. Greg Whiteley is in sixth. Doug Padilla, who started this race as one of the favorites, still within striking distance, is in seventh. And that right now is the standing in this men's 5,000. And Jay Martin is in 8th place.
Well, the first mile was run in 4:24. The second mile was run in 4:23. They've been fairly consistent in the pace. Mark Nino once again trying to push the pace.
As we continue to look at the 5,000-meter final, and the women's track and field Olympic team will pause and return with the finale of this race in a moment.
I like the way you make me laugh. I like the funny things you do. You got a style that's all your own. I like the sprite in you. You make me want to smile. You know you make me sparkle too. You're such a kick to have around.
Sprite, the only one with Lyman, the unexpected twist that makes us different.
I like the sprite in you.
Chevrolet salutes the competitive spirit with Go For It savings. Go for up to $1,500 when you combine cash back and option package savings on a new Beretta or Corsica. Go for $500 cash back on a new Celebrity. Or go for hundreds in savings on other select Chevrolets. But you've got to go for it now, because after September 28th, Go For It savings will be gone.
Indianapolis, the men's 5,000 meters drawing to a close, and these 3 men, Sydney Marie, Terry Brahm, and Doug Padilla, have decided to take the race into their own hands. The top 3 places will go on to Seoul as we look at the rest of the women's track and field team that have earned their positions through these trials in Indianapolis. Al Trautwig along with Marty LaCouri, with Catherine Switzer and the rest of our track and field crew here in Indianapolis. What a couple of weekends it's been. 2 laps to go.
And 3 men have separated themselves who all have great finishing kicks and will be very hard to be caught from behind. John Gregorek, who is now the man off the pace in 4th place, is a 3:52 miler, and Keith Brantley is with him, but they are too far off the pace at this point. They have 700 yards to go, and Sydney Marie's controlling the race.
And Marty, how about these Hoosiers today? We're looking at Terry Brahm, a 25-year-old graduate of Indiana, having seen what the Hoosiers were able to do in the men's 1,500.
There's certainly a lot to be said about that. It's hot and it's humid here. They're in their own environment. The one you worry about here, Sydney Marie, no stranger to hot weather. Doug Padilla, though, from Salt Lake City area, may not be used to this humidity, but he's running a very good race.
At the Pan American Games last summer, Padilla fell well off the pace and tried to keep Brahm to the qualifying standard for the World Championships. That, however, is against IAAF rules, and both were disqualified, so they have a history of running with each other. As Brahm and Padilla have pulled away from Sydney Marie just a little bit as the bell lap has been rung.
This is just a race to make the team, and in this case, they may not be placing a great emphasis on winning it. They've had to run 3 5,000 meters to get to the final. They're all mindful that the trials process for American distance runners tend to grind our runners down so that they have nothing left for the Olympics. And Sydney Marie looks back, knows he's on the team, and says, not today, fellas. He's beaten them in the past, and he will wait to try and beat them in the future. Doug Padilla is going to win it from Terry Brahm.
Doug Padilla with an impressive kick in this final lap. Terry Brahm will come across in 2nd place, and unless something drastic happens, Sydney Marie will come across in 3rd. The time is 13:37.87, not challenging any type of a record. And there is Marie, and there you have the men's 5,000-meter U.S. Olympic team for 1988. They showed their strength, Marty, and then even Padilla wanted to show a little bit more strength.
It was a very business-like slicing up of the competition, lap by lap. Padilla and Sydney Marie, Sydney with his wife Lisa,